I just got back from Target. This is basically everything that I got. I did get some dish towels, a little bento box kit to take to work for lunches, and some food bowls for my dogs, or one of my dogs. But this is the crafty sort of stuff. These two candles were on clearance, and I had a $3 off coupon for them. And they were originally $12.99. The clearance price was $6.89, I believe. And then with the $3 off, I basically got two candles for the price of half of one. So that's not bad. The light bulbs are just for a fixture that's in the hallway off of this room with the staircase. It's super dark in there, and the light bulbs are old. They're like the ones that get super hot. So I wanted to switch to some LED ones. I got a cutting mat for the Cricut that I ordered. I ordered it yesterday. It's supposed to come on Friday, and today is Wednesday. So, excited to see how that goes. I got some pins for the Cricut and just one thing of vinyl. I'm going to try to make some t-shirts for my dad's company, since that seems like an easy thing to start with. But, I don't know. I got the Explore 3, I think. And it can do sections up to 12 feet without the cutting mat. But if you don't get the smart vinyl, you have to use the cutting mat. So I went ahead and picked one up just because the smart vinyl does seem a little more expensive than the regular vinyl. And I know that I'm pretty likely to just not check the package very well and end up getting the wrong kind, and then still have to go out and buy a mat and delay whatever project I'm working on. So I just went ahead and picked one up. I don't know what else I need, and I don't really know what it comes with. I'm pretty sure it's just the machine, but I wanted to wait and see what I would need for me personally after I got it and set it up for a bit. Because I've never used one before. I used to have a friend that had one, but I never really saw her use it either, so we'll see. And I got some clear contact paper just to put over the table, so it's a little easier to clean and dust, because right now it's just the particle board. I wanted some white, just plain white, but they were out, and I really needed something. And eventually I wanted plain white, but they were out, so I went ahead and just got one roll of the clear, because it really needs something over top of it, and it's going to take more than one roll to do the entire table anyway, so I figured why not. This is the craft table itself. This room needs some work in general, and I think I'm going to try to do a little bit of organizing in here, get my craft stuff together, and I want to pull this table out from the wall so I can use more of it and better organize my stuff. So I'm going to try to do that today. This table is heavy. It's very heavy, so it's not going to be fun. And there is some stuff in this room that I want to move upstairs and just kind of get it out of the way. So, off to do that. So I spontaneously decided to redo my entire craft room as much as I could, mostly just moving stuff, making some curtains, teaching myself how to sew, that sort of stuff. I can't really paint anything because I rent. But yeah, I had to do this as a time lapse because it took forever Painting the table alone took 3 or 4 hours, and it's still sort of splotchy, but it's particle board, so it just kept soaking up all of the paint. I don't think it's going to get too much better, and I didn't film putting the adhesive protectant stuff over it. I do need to finish that up still. I got another roll eventually, but yeah, that little piece there never gets done because I ran out. I don't know why I decided to do this, and I did end up eventually rage quitting, more or less, from making curtains. So I go back and I finish painting the back of that door and the fireplace in that room. This is just video of me at the fabric store. This is the first time I've ever been to this one. It was huge. There was tons of options. I was a little overwhelmed, and I was just looking for fabric for curtains and to go around the edge of the table so you couldn't really see underneath it, because I use it for storage for Christmas decorations. Yeah, tons of options. I just got back from going fabric shopping. All 3 of these together was $164 and some change. I don't know if that's good or not because I've never really bought fabric in bulk or just really in general, besides some scraps here and there. But all of them were $5 a yard, and compared to some of the other prices they had in there, I wasn't mad at it. I originally fell in love with one that was $30 a yard, but I couldn't really justify spending $30 per yard for 12 yards of fabric. Of course, it was the one that I wanted to use for the curtains, which is the thing that I need the most amount of fabric for. The rug in this room is an abstract color thing, and I don't really love it, but I needed a massive rug for this room, and it was the only one that was really affordable. I thought maybe it was going to be mostly blues because that's what was in the picture, but it's not. It's mostly orange and yellow. I tried to pick fabrics that would go with the rug at least somewhat, so I don't know how that's going to go. They had a lot that I really liked, but I just didn't know what I would do with it. I wanted 12 yards of the fabric I got for the curtains, but there was only 10 and like 3/4 on the roll, so I just went ahead and got it because I had already been wandering around the store for about an hour. And I overestimated everything anyway, so I'm hoping maybe it'll work out. I do think I'm going to do the orange around the edge of the table first because it seems like the easiest, and it'll go ahead and get that fabric out of the way. The strings are the actual size of the windows, so I'm just going to go out about 1 inch and cut on the other side of the strings, and hopefully it works out. I did want to cut the lining fabric first just because it feels like there's a little more leeway for mistakes on that. And I'm torn between going ahead and cutting all of the panels for all of the curtains now, or cutting one, working on it, and then cutting the rest of the panels, which is probably what I'll do. It's what makes the most sense to do. But it would be nice if I had enough skill sewing and making curtains to just go ahead and cut all of them all at once while I'm here. But from the shorts, I'm going to say that's not a good idea. So I'm going to cut this one and then do the outer fabric, and I probably won't sew anything tonight. I'm going to go eat with my brother pretty late tonight, so probably won't get a chance to actually sew anything, but at least the panels will be cut for tomorrow. So it turns out shorts are a lot harder to make than I originally thought, and curtains are a lot easier to make than I originally thought. This is the fabric for the second panel. The lining is over there. But me and my brother went out to eat last night, and then once we came back, I started sewing the first curtain panel. I wasn't going to originally sew anything last night, but we were up late and we were talking, so figured why not. But I got everything cut before we left, and then when we got back, I started painting everything. This is the completed first panel. There is some issues, I won't lie. I didn't trim the extra fabric before I sewed it, so the actual bar for the curtain gets stuck on the inside. This, I think part of my problem is I don't have enough faith in myself to do it correctly. So when I measure the fabric, I over measure to give myself a little bit of leeway room. But the problem with that is I don't, it's never happened yet where I've messed up, and then because I gave myself 6 extra inches of fabric on the side, I was able to fix it. So I just end up with extra fabric. And so because of that, and where I put the seam so it would match the other side, the lining of the fabric didn't end up getting trapped by the seam. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about that. I thought about just going back with a basting stitch or something by hand just to sort of keep it in place, or I don't know, I guess realistically I could just throw some double-sided tape up there, but that doesn't seem like the correct way to fix it. But I don't know how to fix it correctly besides ripping this seam out and moving it over. But if I do that, then the where the seam falls isn't going to match where it falls on the other side. So it might just be a case of just keeping it folded over and maybe no one will notice. I think what I might do is take the fabric for the second panel and split it down the middle and do it that way, so that way one panel turns into 2 panels per window, because that might actually give me enough to make all the panels for all 3 windows. And the actual window portion is 27 inches by 64 inches or 72 inches or something. So the panels that I made, or this panel, is I think 38 inches by 77 inches or something like that. So if I split it in half, that'll give me the 2 panels that I need but still cover the window. It's been a couple hours. I've given up on the shorts. I finished painting the fireplace and the door. And now I'm gonna cut the lining fabric for the curtain panels.